Would you invest it in a hotel?
No, I don't think so. I'll just enjoy the money.
Why everyone wants a hotel?
I think the average ROI is like 3.6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it a great hotel in an average location? It's dead.
Trophy collectors. I love that. What's the difference between luxury plus and ultra luxury?
Luxury today, it's volume, originality, and time.
The investor is going to definitely look for value.
That's why they're in it.
Those smaller hotels, $1 million question, are they profitable?
That is the trick. If you crack that, you've done it.
What does authenticity mean? I mean, you can't create authenticity.
What do you do, Rahul, in that particular scenario?
Or you give them whatever they want. Story is a social currency that people don't forget, don't lose. And that's the real branding of a hotel.
Welcome to AGORA, an Amphora Podcast. An AGORA, it's an open space, a place for gathering, exchange, and growth. This modern forum will host the belief that design is an integral part of human experience, shaping how we think, how we feel, and how we live. Together, we will explore the world through the very unique cross-disciplinary lens of design.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of AGORA, an Amphora Podcast. My name is Miriam Llano. I'm the founder of Amphora Marketing, and it is my absolute pleasure to be hosting this episode today. The topic that we are about to discuss today, it is very relevant for the hospitality industry. It is a topic that I am 100% sure many of you have a lot of question marks, and many of you were actually telling me now I have so many questions about it, so I can't wait to hear all about it. And the topic is why everyone wants a hotel. Why every single wealthy person around now wants to own a hotel. What is it about it? Why, right? Hotels have been forever seen as an operational business, like any other operational business. And lately, in the last, we will find out now, but in the last decade, we've seen a very high increase in investment in hospitality. And to discuss this topic, we couldn't have two better powerhouses than the two gentlemen that we have here with us today. So we have Rahul Shankhwalker, partner at HBA, leader global hospitality design firm. And we have Hakan Ozkasikci,
Not bad.
founder and CEO of 3 Square Meters. 3 Square Meters is a hospitality development advisory practice specializing in luxury hotels, resorts, and destination developments. So together we're going to dig into this conversation. And yes, we have a guide, but as you all know, my way of moderating is this is a conversation, it needs to flow. And with the two of you, at the end of the day, you're going to lead the conversation. So let's start actually from the foundations. Since we're going to treat hotels as an asset, as an investment asset, let's start by the profile of that investor. So Hakan, I'm going to start with you. How is the profile of that investor that suddenly decides to invest in a hotel when maybe a decade ago was invested in the stocks?
Okay. That changed radically during the last decade plus, I would say. And you got institutional investors, you got family offices, you got lifestyle entrepreneurs, trophy collectors. There's a diversity in the profile. And strategic investment comes to the foreground, and each of these profiles are different because they have different objectives. Okay, so what happened is, during the last 10 years, I don't want to throw all the lingo here, but the ROI, for example, return on investment, has changed. Back in the day when we were dealing with the luxury hotels, luxury plus and ultra luxury, the return on investment was never less than 25 years actually. Now, these investor profiles come into the play with different objectives because everything is global and they want globally relevant assets that they can actually offload. So it's a play in terms of exit values, internal rate of revenue and yield, financing, brand selection, which is a sport now. And all of a sudden you end up with investors investor profiles that are very diverse, but they're in the same field for different objectives.
Right.
This wasn't the case before.
Mm-hmm. Trophy collectors. I love that.
I like that.
What do you think about
Brilliant.
that?
I think for me, I've been designing hotels for as long as I've been an architect. And over the years, I've seen, I would say, broadly separate hotels in two categories. One is the classical ones, the operator-led, many hundreds of rooms and many things going in there. And then there is this other hotels, which I would say not the trophy hotels, where people come up with innovative ways of delivering hospitality without it being in the conventional hospitality sense. And I'll tell you a story. This one time, I think it must have been about 4 or 5 years back, I was in Tokyo. And I walked into this cafe, beautiful cafe, got cycles parked outside, some of them manual, some with electric bikes. And it didn't seem like people were coming in riding those cycles. So I asked the guy, hey, what's the deal with these cycles? Do you rent them out? He says, no, they're for our guests. Yeah, guests? What guests? He says, I've gone and taken rooms in apartments around my cafe in a radius of a couple of kilometers. And when you check in through the cafe. And you ride my cycle,
Nice.
you ride your cycle to go and check into your room with a QR code. And the reason I'm narrating this story is because that's a complete paradigm shift in the hospitality world. What that does is it makes individual investors, makes hospitality accessible to individual investors. So this one's like an Airbnb without Airbnb. He's just said, you know what? I'm going to do it my way. I like it like this, I'll do it. And then I go and check out. The guy is booked out for 6-8 months. Right? I didn't get to stay in the rooms. But what a brilliant concept.
Yeah.
And the cafe is the hub of his sort of spread out hospitality world. And he said he has about 10 or 15 rooms, and people are cycling with their kids on it and coming and having their tea, coffee. And all the service happens from there. And through that cafe, he's linked into all the amazing spots, the best, I don't know, sushi place, or all of that. It's all connected. And it's a whole different world of hospitality that's evolving in the world.
This is the progressive and innovative way of handling it.
Or experientially driven. Because
Indeed.
I think the thing about the currency of what really brings people back into a hotel is not the quality of design, honestly speaking.
No.
It's not. I'm a designer, but honestly, it's a very small part of what builds brand loyalty. What really brings brand loyalty is how authentic, genuine, intentional is the experience that people are taking away.
But it's very tricky to treat an investment if what you are investing on is an experience. So are investors really investing in experiences, or they are investing in real estate, or they are investing in the brand?
Who's answering this? Okay, I can take it on. Everything all together, because without the right experience, no matter what you do, no matter how strong the design is,
I agree.
you cannot bring the people back.
Yeah.
And this experience does not need to be overwhelming. It can be humble. It can be culturally driven, better so. And location specific, or breathing new life into that location. But it's the experience. And you can leverage on that experience in order to determine the value of your asset as an investor. That's what I've been seeing in my clients, in my previous experiences. Everything that we created, master planning, starting from there actually, it's all about that experience that will ascertain the value of the asset for the next 3 decades.
So based on that, I mean, Rahul already shared a little bit why you think that changed so much in the last decade. But why it changed? What did really change for a single investor to jump into such an endeavor?
I think no matter which side of the two hospitality worlds that we were just talking about, an owner investor sits in, you can't separate, you can't divorce a person from an experience. It's a part and parcel of life, you know. And what's happened, I think it's also to do with how the world is evolving. And I'll just give you my example. I was in Morocco last week on work, and then I had a span of 2 or 3 days, and I'd never been to Marrakesh. So I go to Marrakesh, right? And what that means is work and travel have fused into one another. So many of us go for work to an amazing new city, you extend another day. That kind of drives how hospitality responds to people's way of life, right? The way you live. And while you could, like I was saying earlier, while you could build the most beautiful building, if you're not allowing the designs or the building to create a backdrop for people to create their own stories,
Yeah.
you're not investing in a client to come back.
This is exactly right. I mean, not meant to intervene here, but personification of a space for every individual is different. I mean, all of us, we go to places, we come back with different takeaways.
Yes, 100%.
And speaking about Marrakesh, I mean, I was privileged to work on Aman Jana back in the day.
Beautiful. I love that place.
Okay, high barriers of entry, absolutely fine. But I mean, when you go there, you can actually write your story with the Atlas Mountains at the back, that 60 meter by 60 pond, which is not a pond, actually, it's a pool. In the middle, the reflection of the night sky over there and how it changes from day to night. I mean, it's a learning experience, actually. When you meander through it, I think one of the things that the investors are seeking heavily today is that ability to surprise. Because we got so many generic hotels and resorts and other hospitality elements, F&B included, that ability to surprise is something that is rare. There's the genuine scarcity that you need to create. I mean, fortunately, I worked on many projects, and if you talk about, for example, the Fullerton in Singapore.
Sorry, which one?
The Fullerton Hotel.
Yeah, the Fullerton.
The lobby. Okay, you go in to be amazed, you sit down, you observe everything all at once, and then you are kind of like watching it, the movements. But if you go to, like say, okay, from here, Wanzabil, you have to take a trip. And every trip that you take can be very different. Inside it, outside it, to reach a destination, what brings people back is that curiosity. Why do you want to go back? You want to explore again. And unless you serve that to the client, it's a one-time shot. They go there, enjoy it, done.
So we all agree that if we look at the value, it's not the location, it's not the design, it's not the brand, it's the experience, right? But I'm going to grant it a bit more for the actual typical investor that looks at the ROI that we mentioned before. And you said something that very interesting, Hakan. Hotels used to have a 25 years span of ROI. What is it that looking like today?
Oh, depends. I mean, if you go to a Holiday Inn Express, I'm just going to throw the name out there, it is so well crafted as a formula. I think the average ROI is like 3.6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because it's scientific. You know everything, all the costs, where to buy what to do. I mean, it's just prescribed. It can be on the moon, in Timbuktu, doesn't matter. It's the same hotel. Okay, so the 3-star and below, that's a very, very low ROI. When you go to the ultra luxury, it just depends. I mean, for example, you talked about location. It was one of the questions. I don't know if you're going to go, but I'm going to go there now. So she was going to ask us, remember? Is it a great hotel in an average location or vice versa?
Yes.
I mean, go to the Birkenstock in Lucerne in Switzerland now. It's dead. Incredible hotel. That is where actually they wanted to hold peace talks with Iran. Yeah?
So it's dead because of the location?
Yes.
And why is that?
I would definitely go into an average hotel in an incredible location to buy it, because you have the opportunity to bring it up. It's at rock bottom anyway. The only way is up. You can do that. That is a smart investment today.
You too, Rahul?
No,
Would you rather go to a
mine's
very
the
good
other way.
design?
I would go to an extraordinary hotel than an average location because I believe every location has got something special. It's a matter of how you look at things.
I love this.
And you know, it's interesting. I've been designing hotels since the time when some of the big brands would want their hotel standardized, right? They wanted the customer who's traveling from America to Singapore to feel like they're staying at home, you know, same color tones in the carpets, walls, and everything, which is now shifted to having unique location-specific narratives driving the designs and the experiences. And that shift is not because the hotels wanted it to be like that. It's because the traveler was asking for more. The traveler was asking for the hotel to be not just a place where I go to sleep the night.
Right.
What can you tell me about the city and the environment around you in the one night that I stay in your hotel?
The storytelling and layering. Layering is very important. I mean, this is not to be contested. It's a fact. But when she said investor, I just put that developer hat on. I mean, as a designer, I would love to be lost in the middle of Bangkok.
Nothing about investors.
Okay, fine. Lucky you. I mean, they are an indispensable part of my life, and I mean, because of what I do. But talking sense into them, and actually they are consultants. It's like herding cats. You know, everybody has a different agenda. An investor, their consultant, there's the designer, there's the architect, cost consultant, you name it. You've got, at any given time, at least 15 players on that field that you need to manage. Find the middle ground, balance them, and then
Excel
lead
spreadsheet.
that. Oh my God. I mean, lead that. I mean, some of them dream in Excel. I can tell you that. But lead that investment to a point where it proves its worth, no matter what the brand is, by the way. You should not capitalize only on the brand. I mean, that is the trick.
Right.
If you crack that, you've done it.
The investor is going to definitely look for value. No? And
That's why they're in it.
that's why they're in it. Exactly.
I mean, unless they're trophy assets,
Trophy, or very
And the world
passionate
is-
about hospitality.
the world is full of them. You don't need more trophy assets, I think.
Do you see much of that? For instance, like investors that they go for that just because of, you know, the trophy of I have a hotel, rather than looking
I do.
deeply at the numbers?
Yes, and that is the biggest fight I have, usually, because they come to me and they say, is this worth it? And I give them, it's not a yes or no. I say, this is what it is worth for this reason, and in accordance with the design attributes it has, it can be better. But do you really want to go into this? Because this is not what your quantity surveyor or your accountant told me they want to see.
And most probably they don't want to invest in a Holiday Inn, right? They want to do the boutique
No,
hotel.
I mean,
I don't know
that's
what
my
type.
life some 25 years ago. But now it's like, for example, take Hotel Coste in Paris. Jean-Louis Coste is certifiably mad in a good way. I mean, he did something that is extraordinary, and everybody thought that he's crazy. I mean, he worked with Jacques Garcia, and then they did the new wing, which is incredible. And to be honest with you, when you walk in there, you got that mysticism. You're in Paris. You can feel it, but it's not in your face, not overimposed. That lobby is just the right size. It's not excessive. But then you find those niches and nooks, you explore it.
Right.
And you can be on your own, or you're with your significant other, very calmly, or you're in a party space that you can just lose yourself and retire into the night. I think that is the experience, because you can choose. One day can be calm, one day can be mad. It can be amazing food this day, today I'm on a diet, and it's all great. Everything you go through. So he did everything right. But because he's a visionary.
It's all connected. And I think that's it's amazing that you brought up the Coste Hotel, and it's a great example of how you use music to create branding.
Yes.
There are so many costs playlists that you can find,
Yeah.
which are very specific
Mm-hmm.
to that. And when you listen to a song, you know, oh, somehow it reminds me
Yeah.
Yeah.
of that hotel
Identify
and not
yourself.
of Marriott down the road.
No, you can associate
It's-
yourself
yeah,
with it.
it's because a hotel is such, it's a envelope of multidisciplinary sensory experience. Right? There's touch, smell, sound,
Yeah.
and not to mention the human interaction of how the guy or the lady at the counter makes you feel when you walk in. And believe me, I'm sure many here are going to agree, hotels, you forget the most beautiful looking hotels, but what you remember is how
What you
something
felt.
in that hotel made you feel.
Made you feel.
What you
yeah.
Whether it
felt.
was, if someone treated you nicely after you've had a very exhausting and a painful day,
Yeah.
I'll tell
you
you.
remember the hotel as a result of that and not how beautiful the chandelier was.
I'm going to tell you a
But
story.
how
quickly
difficult
about
is to
this.
create
What?
those hotels and at the same time
Oh,
not,
No,
converting them into a not profitable
I
business?
think the thing is, the more hotels I've designed, the more I realize that, and in today's world, there's just so much this storytelling has become like a throwaway word, right? Everyone is talking storytelling. It's really a crazy word. You can't really tell stories. People can make their own stories. And what is important is for hotels to create that safe space for people to feel themselves. See, you don't know what a person is going through when he walks through the lobby. The guy could have had a breakup, you could be celebrating an anniversary, or you could have been fired from your job, right? And it's the same lobby, but how the person is feeling is different. Now, how empathetic people in that space are determines your experience of that space, and that is period. It's a
completely
it's
agree.
a container.
I completely agree with you. And I mean, not to brag, I've been involved in or designed myself more than 37 hotels that are alive today. And going back to them when I walk into the lobby, I mean, I see all these people. I don't know them.
Yeah.
And they're going through exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, not what I thought when I was putting all that thought process into it, but what they feel and how you actually contribute to their life on that very day is what matters. And if you can make them feel appropriate in whatever sense, because they may be going through a lot of other things, then you contribute to their lives. And that is why some hotels are unforgettable.
Yeah. What you are describing are boutique experiences.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
What you are describing are boutique experiences.
Boutique.
Boutique experiences.
In
I
you're sorry, I didn't quite understand the question. You're saying
No, what we're describing are boutique experiences, she's saying. I mean,
Experiences that are very tailor-made for the audience that is...
no, not really.
It's not.
Or
it's
is
not, you
or
can't-
that, so that's my question. Is more of a boutique experience, or a brand or a hospitality brand is able to also create
yes.
this type of
I
experience?
think anyone can.
Yes,
Whether
anyone
you're
can.
a 500 room hotel or
Doesn't
a
matter.
30 key hotel.
Okay.
This is humanity we're talking about. It's kind of transcending. You're crossing the boundaries of saying, oh,
Well,
I'm
think about
designing something to, I'm curating something. And I think the future of hospitality design is not even designing floor wall ceilings. I think the success of great designers will be who are able to curate spaces, right? And what that means is people who can at once design the interiors for you, but also design the uniforms, decide what the fragrances are going to be, how those fragrances remind you of what is outside. And boutique is a very sort of, I think it's an isolating word, but what I'm talking about is human connections, and they can happen in a large hotel, it can happen in a small hotel. It's a matter of the kind of attitude you're taking towards, are you just selling rooms
No, no.
Or are you selling the potentials of people creating their own experiences and their own memories and take back their own stories?
Right.
Because stories are social currencies that people don't forget, don't lose, and that's the real branding of a hotel.
I mean, I can't agree more, because what you take away from going to New York City to a big hotel is very different than what you take away from Tuscany, from a small hotel,
Yeah.
right? And you want to remember good things. You want to, it's not about being special. It's not about feeling special. It's about feeling something else other than what you're used to feeling every day.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't matter, I completely agree. I mean, it doesn't matter if it is a 500 key hotel or a 50 key hotel. It is the mindset of design that you can implement to achieve that objective. Creating those hideaway corners and then a gathering space. 25 hours is funny
Yeah.
in that sense over here. I mean, and in Zurich as well, it was the same. They made it. I mean, it works. It works because it's sociable, because it's a culturally interactive space. It's not, it's gimmicky in a good way, and you remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now here is $1 million question into design. Because let's not forget that we are looking at this from the lens of an investor. So how do you explain an investor that design, that is an element that has been forever seen as a cost or an expense, how do you justify that design is a financial driver?
That designs a financial driver. I mean,
Well,
oh, sorry.
while you're thinking, what I'm seeing nowadays is that we talked about the experience, how the staff made you feel, right? Unfortunately, the investors today are more into optics. Optics of, trumping the others. Like, I've got the best lobby, too many layers, complexity in materials, showing off. But then they cut down on that real experience, staffing, efficiency, infrastructure.
Yeah.
Exactly, training. So all of a sudden, it's a shell. Because let's face it, I mean, hospitality, until such time that we are all taken over by robots, is still human. And unfortunately today, the investors don't want to listen to that bit, because what they're saying is, okay, I've seen this at Bulgari, and I want to be better. I've seen the depth of the pool was 125 in X, I want 140. So it's always like, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. So that's why I mentioned those categories of investors. Strategic investor is one that I didn't say. Strategic investor reads into the terrain. They're like snipers. So they see, if you're in Mexico, for example, that culture is not to be discounted. You need to capitalize that. You're in Costa Rica, you need to capitalize being outdoors. You're in Bali, okay, this is nature and culture together. So they start crafting the story backwards. Why are these people coming here? Why do they want to stay with us? How can I bring them back? So talking to investors is a craft nowadays. I mean, I'm experiencing that more than ever. I've been doing this for a long time, but today it's like, okay, ChatGPT, tell me which are the top 5 hotels here and what are the ADRs and the occupancies, and give me a spreadsheet. It happens like that. And the information is so easy to reach. So they do their homework in that sense, because they get ready for their partners and monetary support, let's say, the funds and everything, because they need to have a case. So going to them only with the design scope is very romantic. They don't buy that anymore. And unfortunately, these guys have been everywhere. Going from Amman, Tokyo to, let's say, Amman, New York, if it's Amman. They know every one of them. And then they go and check out the competitors. They pay all those monies to be able to understand what they're made of. And they come to you, and they look at you, they say, all right, you're telling me this story, but I've seen this and that and that. And by the way, my wife has seen this and that. was in Milan, saw that sofa. Minotti is about the line today. And if I change that lobby, I buy that hotel with Minotti, I'm going to be spending this amount of money, but my ADR and my occupancy, my consultant told me, is going to be there. Prove them wrong. This is the arena today.
Okay, interesting.
Every day. And poor guys, I mean, I'm a designer myself, but devout one, actually.
Yeah.
He can tell that. But when these investors, this character of investor, faces a designer, if you are not actually capable of standing your ground, it's a bloodshed.
So what do you do, Rahul?
Yes.
In that particular scenario?
Or you give them whatever they want. Or at the end of it, you're running a business, right? I mean, the way I look at it is, it's a business I'm running.
I love
There
it.
are some clients who too smart for the world, know everything. Yeah, you can have what you want. I'm not here to fight you. But then there are others who really come with a curious and inquisitive mind and say, hey, I don't know how this works. Can we work on this together? And those are the clients you absolutely love.
Yeah.
And these clients fund the other one. I mean, it's a simple business decision. You can't make everyone think in a way that you want them to think.
Yeah.
You know, there's some good hotels, some mediocre hotels trying to be great hotels. And then there are just some hotels which are just phenomenal. They blow your breath away. And not necessarily because of the designs or who designed it or who the architect is or where the marble came from.
Absolutely.
And it's sounding like a broken record, but it brings me back to what I'm saying, how it makes you feel. I'm going to give you an example. One of my most favorite hotel brands in the world is an Indian one called the Oberoi.
The Oberoi, yeah, of course.
And I think the service standards of Oberoi are probably some of the most extraordinary in the world. So whenever I go to Delhi, the work, I stay at the Oberoi, and I've been staying there before they did a shoddy renovation. And what has been consistent through when they were old design, new design, is their service. I remember this one time, I check into the hotel, stay there for 2 days, and my toothpaste was running out, right? And it was everyone's got their own independent brands. And then I come back the next evening, there's the same, my toothpaste, full, fresh tube in there, with a note which says, Mrs. Shankhwalker, noticed your toothpaste is running out. I took the liberty to go get you one, which means someone went
It's very cool.
to the supermarket or the shop next door, found that toothpaste and came back with it.
I
See,
love it.
what
You can't
that did,
forget that.
you can't.
Yeah.
You can't replace. That is such a powerful branding of a hotel.
This reminded
Do I
me
care about the designs anymore? No. But you bought me forever.
Yeah, yeah.
I will not stay in another hotel until and unless you don't have rooms available or I can't afford your rooms.
Years ago, I was working in Indonesia, in Bali, and the Bulgari had just opened. So I said,
Oh, it's a
"Okay,
beautiful hotel.
I need to go and see it, right? I went there, open lobby, incredible, and the view is just absolutely amazing. I said, I need to spend some time here, alone, yeah, to absorb, to understand, to feel. So I saw a parapet wall, stone, beautiful. I approached that, looking at the horizon. I sat down. It was soft. It's a stone wall. This guy who was watching me, he understood I was going to sit. He rushed a cushion under me.
Oh,
Yeah,
I sat down,
very
and then he
that's
gave me,
empathy, isn't it?
Yeah.
and then
That's
he
empathy
gave
in
me a
action,
cold
yeah.
glass
Yeah.
of water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't go with training.
How
Yeah.
can I forget that?
Yeah.
It's been 20 odd years.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
How they make you feel, the place.
Yeah.
this is it, and also the quality of sleep. Wherever you go, if you wake up fine, even if it's a 3-hour sleep that you have to, I mean, you arrive late, you have an early meeting in the morning. It's so important, and there are some items in that environment that should not be compromised. So when you talk to your investor,
Yeah.
about that. You're talking about the mattress. You're talking about the blackout, the sound system, the lighting system, the air conditioning system, and it shouldn't be more than 35 decibels in operation, for example. And he looks at the price of that equipment versus the one that is 45. He says, why not this? Because it is a combination of all of those that creates the experience.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult to explain to so many people,
Yeah.
except for those rare investors that know it and they're looking for it.
Yeah, because what destroys more a brand? That investor that is only looking at the number in the Excel sheet, or also that designer that doesn't look at the commercial viability of
I think both.
Yeah, you can't afford it.
disaster, both of them.
It's both of them. Yes, it's both.
I think, imagine a designer who builds an expensive a building or a space that costs a lot of money, but is not well thought through and problematic.
Oh, I'm going through one
And
now.
and an investor who thinks that a hotel is an Excel spreadsheet and it's all about make your money as quickly as possible without actually focusing on the humanity of the design. And I think both of them are problematic.
This is where you have to be very honest when you ask the first question. Like, okay, what do you want to do? You want to invest? You're going to invest? Okay, you want to invest. Fine. Are you going to flip it in 5 years? Or are you going to keep it? Are you in this game for the long run or not? They usually turn around and say, why are you asking this question? None of your business.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but actually it is my business.
Yeah.
Because exactly now I'm going through a project which is very rare in terms of size, magnitude, quality, caliber, etc. But I'm going to touch a very sensitive point. The brief, the initial brief, I understood after a month that was given by the developer to all the design teams was so weak and vague that now they ended up at a point where their first assumptions on that Excel sheet are almost double.
Wow.
So you cannot value engineer 100%. So you need to find the middle ground. And that is where, again, herding those cats comes into play. But you talk about emotion. You talk about rationality. You talk about being relative 10 years from now, let alone 20. So all of that equilibrium is not easy. Because it all depends on how much your counterpart is going to be listening to you in reality. How deep. And it's the elevator pitch. You know, you got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You have to sell it to them
it.
for their welfare. And it all comes down to what I'm seeing now, be the designer or a design consultant or an advisor. It's challenging them for their welfare without being afraid. I mean, it comes down to, he's right. You're running a business, you gotta do what they want. But being cognizant of the fact that this is going to lead to that point. And I'm telling it to you today. If you like it, take it. If you don't like it, let me do what I can do for you. That's the choice. That's the crossroads.
That's a very good point, because we've been talking about when the business goes well, no? When we are delivering the right experience, when we are delivering the right moment. But what happens when it goes wrong? Like, for instance, what happens when a hospitality brand gets all this investment and the scale of it makes it lose the purpose of the actual identity of the brand?
Oh, you're saying where's that fine line?
Yeah, what is the fine line where, the investment doesn't harm the actual identity of that brand and the purpose of the investment itself?
Do you want?
There you go.
I mean, I can say that's a very sensitive topic and differs for every brand. But if you're talking about ultra luxury, luxury plus and ultra luxury, which is the most dangerous.
Sorry, what's the difference between luxury plus and ultra luxury? It's the first time I hear luxury plus.
There are so
don't know if
many
everyone else
categories and
categories.
subcategories. And
What I can tell, I mean, you can associate this with brands. I mean, Mandarin Oriental, Rosewood, Four Seasons, that is a segment. And then you got one and only Aman, Oetker Collection, Capella,
Okay.
that's another segment. Then you got the boutiques, even higher than them. So, but what I'm saying is, I mean, if you're surpassing, if you're exceeding, let's say, 50 keys in ultra luxury, that easily corresponds to $200 million of investment.
Okay.
And to keep it alive, it's not the venue, it's the people. Then your staff count per key is likely to be over 4. So you need 4.6, 4.8 people to run that business. And all of a sudden, if you have more than 30 hotels, you're talking about a system size of staff that is more than 5,000 people. So, hello, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, because you need to be able, and it's diverse. They're not next to each other.
Yeah.
One
How
is
do
in
you
Tokyo,
control,
one
right?
of them is in
Yeah.
Paris, or so. To maintain that caliber quality and the expectation of your following that you're trying to create, all of a sudden you have to be super meticulous in people management.
Yeah.
And I think that is the fine line. I would dare say, 50 to 80 keys in the luxury plus and above environment. That is where you have to be very, very careful with who you are versus who you're going to become. Because if you fail in that service, if that guy doesn't really notice that difference of the toothpaste that he's using, but that sensitivity, when it's lost, and actually even worse, you experience that, you go back, you think it's going to be the same. If it is not, it is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The expectation is already here. So
And
you
it
grew,
happens.
Then,
So I would say, for me, it's about 50 to 80 keys in ultra luxury, 120, 150 keys, notch below. That is the fine line. If you exceed that, good luck.
How can you? Yeah. How can you control the essence? No.
I mean, no. What happens is you become standardized. Then those guideline books becomes standard books. And I mean, I remember many, many years ago with Four Seasons, I met with Robert King, and I rose, buttoned my jacket, held out my hand to hold it. He just gave me a book. He didn't shake my hand. He just gave me the 438-page exact number, Four Seasons Brand Standards book that tells me that the nightstand cannot be more than 43 centimeters high, and etc. So all of a sudden you wake up in Kuwait or in Miami, it's the same hotel.
It's the same.
So you either do that and become a big business, or you retain your essence and fight for the quality with your people that you retain, that you hold on to. Aman Tokyo is like that. I mean, I go there after all these years and they're still the same people. The same people.
Any brand that you could name that you've seen that mistake happening?
How many do you want?
There's so many.
I mean, I don't want to frame
I
anyone,
think-
Yeah.
but the majority.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd agree. I think a lot of the hotels are putting the energy in places where it really doesn't matter. And there's one of your questions about what do you think is something that makes or breaks a hotel. What was that question? I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, what would that be for me? And I think it's Instagrammability.
Oh,
I can't remember that
Yeah.
exact question. It was one of your questions. And so many hotels, the reason I'm bringing that up is because so many hotels are designing for Instagram moments. It's insane, it's absurd. Because Instagram is monodimensional. A hotel experience is a multi-dimensional sensory space, right? You not experience anything in isolation. you can feel the air conditioning on your body, you can see something, you can smell, you can touch, there are textures, and all of them are working in sync with one another. And the hotels where all of that works seamlessly are some of the most amazing hotels. And I think Amman does that phenomenally. Not that I've stayed in too many Ammans, but they seem to do it. Oberoi does that really well. You can stay in an Oberoi in Marrakesh, you can stay in an Oberoi in Mumbai. The service is uniform. The way they treat you, the way the guy in the restaurant says, if you don't like something, he doesn't have to run to his manager and say, I'll check with my manager. You know, he has it. He's got the authority to replace that for you.
Right.
And when you design hotels for that one visual experience, I think we've lost the plot here.
You're
Because
absolutely
all you're doing is saying that all that matters is what someone else is seeing.
I hate the word, but I think it's becoming more relevant every day. It's becoming consumable.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's about you being there. Okay, you talked about Amman. I spent an excessive amount designing and working on them. You go there to be amazed. Okay, so that
Sorry,
is
what did you say? You go there?
you
to
go
be?
there to be amazed
Amazed, yeah.
because that environment,
Yeah.
that strong minimalism,
It's magical.
with strong substance, everything is actually crafted. The lighting, the shadow that is being cast on the floor.
Everything, yeah, it works
So
together.
it is all calculated, and that's why you lose hair and whiten beard like this. But I'm proud of that. Anyway, you go there to be amazed. For example, when I came here to join Kerzner with One and Only, I was always being told when I was with Amman that, well, they're competitors. Okay, I came here, I saw, and then I started visiting the properties, running their designs. It's got nothing to do with that.
Right.
It is more of a humble background for people to write their own stories, and which is wonderful, actually. And the service is like on par with Amman,
Yeah.
mostly. So this is where you make a difference. But Instagrammability,
Yeah.
actually, this is a word now.
Yeah.
I mean, we were working on a bridge in Maldives, and the owner said, "I want an Instagrammable platform."
Yeah, that's where it goes
And
downhill,
even
I
comes
think.
from the investors now,
So then
right?
why do
Like,
you
I
go to
want that.
Maldives?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, just talking about Amman and Instagram, I think Amman's experiential touch points are so consistent across all its platforms where the world sees it, right? For example, if you go to Amman's Instagram, they never have people having a wonderful time. The people are in silhouettes. You don't see them in focus. You don't see their faces. And even if you see their faces, they're out of focus. And it's a very powerful psychological tool. What that does is it allows you to imagine yourself in that silhouette. The moment you can recognize a face, I mean, recognize in the sense it's a face, you're disconnected from a potential reality that could be yours one day. And that is the power of very subtle psychological marketing.
And you don't have many of that.
I don't see that happening with any hotel.
You don't have
You see
many of
people dancing in the pool, you see them drinking champagne. No, it's not that. The humans are there, but they're all in the background, silhouettes, out of focus. What is in focus is the experience they want you to imagine
Which
yourself
is
in.
actually
Leaves room
quite
for you to
challenging.
experience.
It's
Brilliant.
quite challenging in the West, though, because of the labor cost. So when you're going to the Ammans in Asia,
Yeah.
the staff ratio is around 7.5. So you have more than 7 people serving,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, per guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go to Amman, Venice, it's down to 3.5
Yeah.
because you can't afford it.
Yeah.
So, but still, that is why you go smaller in those environments, to be able to retain that quality,
Yeah.
not to compromise. So, when investors, new investors, venturing into those brands are shocked by the cost of operation, they have a choice.
Yeah.
They have a choice. They can go to somebody else, or they can still stick with it and take it as it comes. But these are the realities that we need to explain upfront.
Educate.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the efficiency of the investment and the return of investment on what are we getting wrong, no, with the investments. What is that overrated element in all the ultra luxury hotels, or that part of the investment that developers keep investing on that, in your opinion, is something that is overrated?
Actually, we talked about it. I would push public areas, like to impress, going big, because look, luxury today, it's like, for many, it's volume, originality, and time.
What do you mean volume?
Volume, physical volume.
Physical volume, okay.
Physical volume. Scale. Personal time, and originality. So if you can create craft spaces that are unique, that people can associate themselves with, and spend their personal time there, and it becomes a preference for them to come back, okay, you win. But if it is repetitive, it loses its value.
It's not authentic anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It loses its
It
value.
can be anywhere.
For example, one of the best conversions I've ever seen in my life was the Ned in London. The Ned.
The net.
Ned, yeah.
The bank into that hotel.
Yeah.
What have they done? It's wonderful with the public area, all that F&B, it's booming. But that is the credo of that place. So not everybody's cup of tea, but you can go there and visit it. It's successful. And it's not overimposing because it was already a bank.
Right.
You had the volume. Yeah? But if you're building from a new, like greenfield, and if you're just trying to replicate that scale, just to impress, and that is where they say, well, I bought this marble from the whatever mountain in Pakistan. They did that at the Eden in Dorchester in Rome, for example. It is semi-translucent, and every bathtub is hewn out of one piece of solid rock. Good for you. Okay, it is to impress. So I think today, what is being overdone in ultra luxury, first of all, they're not rare anymore. Back in the day, Aman was rare. One and only was rare. Today, they have competitors.
Yeah.
There was no competition back in the day. So now they have competitors. It's being overdone, and it's always like, mine is better than yours. So they just put a lot of money in public areas to impress. That is the mistake I'm seeing, at the expense of value engineering instead of engineering the value on the back of house, infrastructure, efficiency, staff. So in ultra luxury, you asked ultra luxury, I think this is the biggest mistake.
What do you think, Rahul?
Sorry, I lost track of the question. Can you repeat
What
that
is the
again?
most overrated element?
I think that's what I answered. Instagram ability. It's shocking.
The dress to impress.
Dress
Kind
to
of
impress.
Dress
dress to
and-
impress. Yeah.
And making every space about sight, and not yours but somebody else's. You're vicariously sort of experiencing just the vision, but reality it's a cocktail of everything. And how well balanced that cocktail is determines how successful.
Well, that's very good.
a
That's a very good
person's-
way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This conversation happened the day before yesterday with a client, and they're a new brand. They don't have any operating properties.
Yeah.
And they were like, we want to be ultra luxury. We want to be better than Aman. Well done, you. And you know Aman inside out. Can you please tell us how? No. I said, that is them. And it took them 35 years to come to where they are today. You cannot just take on them like that.
Yeah.
And ultra luxury is like a chewing gum today as a term. And I don't believe it's got the gravitas it used to have. So, Instagrammable spaces, being there in the club environment and showing that you are trendy, you're hip, you're there, you're sophisticated, you've seen it all, and you actually can advise people to go where they have to go to. Well, I told this client, I think you should switch to cultured luxury more than ultra luxury, because then you can be more relevant. Okay, you want to be hip, you can be hip because that's your culture. You want to offer a wellness experience that is much better than one and only, for example. Fine, you can do that, but you have to capitalize on that. Focus on that culture. So if you actually focus on the cultured elements, the cultural elements for cultured luxury, you have a trajectory, you have something to say. You don't need to shout.
And perhaps what you mentioned about the bank transforming into something, no? Maybe this repurposing of spaces, this refurbishment into something.
Yeah, but not every hotel has that opportunity.
Right.
No.
You know, some do, some don't. And just adding on to what Hakan was saying, it's also building hotels or hospitality spaces which unapologetically belong where they sit. The problem is when you do a hotel, that could be anywhere. You know, that brings us to this question: what does authenticity mean in relationship to hotels? I mean, you can't create authenticity; it's constantly evolving,
Yeah.
right? Like the present moment. But what is some of the most beautiful hotels are those that couldn't exist anywhere other than where they are.
Irreplaceability. This is what it
Irreplaceable.
is.
You can't
Yeah.
take that hotel
I can't
from
agree more.
Dubai and put it in Abu Dhabi as much as you say. It can't move. It belongs where it is. And that has got nothing to do with copying history or motives or buildings from the past. It's an attitude. And that attitude is what makes that hotel a very unique proposition.
But then what do we think about brands like Aman, since we are talking about Aman,
Yeah.
that was, crafted into the temples and the quietness of Japan and Thailand and Amampuri and this, and all of a sudden we have Aman New York.
Yeah.
But
You
why
can
not?
blame me for that one.
Yeah.
But why not? But the thing about Amans is exactly what I was saying. At least most of the ones that I've been to, they belong where they are.
Yeah.
They sit very proudly in the location where they are. They're not trying to be something else. It's understated, restrained details, a very small palette of materials which are possibly locally sourced. And every Aman property has got a sense of unapologetic craftsmanship to it. Whether it is the Aman in Kyoto or whether it was the first urban Aman in New Delhi, designed by Kerry Hill, which I think was one of the most fabulous
It was amazing.
urban buildings, right? And that's a great example of a great hotel sorry, I've got a problem with Delhi, but it's not my favorite city in the world. But that's a great example.
Yeah.
When you went inside that hotel, you were cut away from the dust and the hustle and bustle and the honking of the street outside. And it's smack in the middle of the most traffic.
Yeah.
And it's across the street from the Oberoi that I was talking about. And it's a world of its own, right? And it's just so beautiful. It's made of local limestone, and it had these beautiful jalis with light filtering through into the corridors, and no air conditioning.
He actually told me that, the late Kerry Hill. I mean, I was very
it was
fortunate
brilliant.
to
He's one of my favorite
work with him.
architects.
We did Aman Kyoto together with
Yeah.
him.
Sorry, just 1 second, so I finish. That's a great example of belonging in a hotel.
Yeah.
All their hotels belong where they are.
But that's a quintessential quality of that brand.
Yeah.
So you can find different ways of belonging. But that is one of the strongest in the world at the moment as a brand.
As a brand,
but
yeah.
I like what you said. I mean, unapologetically there. So you go there, you feel it, you understand. New York, yes, we had a jazz club underneath in the basement. And the biggest question was, how do you go to that? So we agreed collectively back in the day that you don't enter from the main entrance to go to the jazz club. It should resemble with the history of those clubs in New York City. So we chose 54th Street, the back of house entrance. So you go from a dingy lift, actually, that is being used, that's operationally used for garbage disposal as well, to go down there into that club.
And this is through the Aman Hotel, you're saying?
Yeah, it's
You go to the
underneath
jazz club?
Aman, the Aman Jazz Club.
Yeah, brilliant.
Underneath Aman, New
Brilliant.
York. We did
So
it that way because, and that was
Because most of the
completely-
jazz clubs in New York have that kind of
But
entrance
that's
experience.
the reason why we did
Yeah.
that, because that is a
Yeah.
way of belonging to
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
environment.
yeah.
And it was,
Yeah, true,
again,
true.
unapologetic
Yeah,
and intentional.
yeah,
So if you have that trajectory in your mind,
yeah,
and you put your mind into that, and
yeah.
do not swerve, compromise, you have a story to tell.
So that property, I mean, since we have you here, so that property, is it more to serve the, you know, the Amman Yonki kind of route, so they have everywhere to
No.
stay in Amman, or is part of the strategy of the brand?
All of them, actually. And for the first time, there's a club, the Members Club, the Amman Members Club. That was the first that was done. So it serves the city as well as the guests and the residences about. So I want to take the topic to that as well a little bit. So it's not only hotels anymore; it's branded residences. Now that is the future.
Yeah, that's the whole.
That is the future, and because the sexy, the appealing part of it is that it is domestic. So it's a home that you're creating with that brand, and it's not only like Armani, for example, the furniture line. No, it is everything: the artwork, the color scheme, the feeling that you create. Because these Amman junkies, they go to a hotel in Amman, they go
for the
back home,
experience, yeah,
and they want that experience. They
Yeah.
miss that experience.
yeah.
They want to feel that again. So if you can provide them with that in a branded environment, well, that was a winner, because those residences, 16 of them, they were sold long before we completed the hotel.
Yeah. It's interesting. In the hospitality world, it's just different strokes for different folks. Literally, there's a market for everybody.
Yes?
But the least common denominator for all of them is the human need to connect,
Yeah.
to be present, to be seen, to be heard. And that's the least common denominator. All of us want it. No matter which country you come from, what are your world views, this is the basic. And some of the most successful hotels are not ones that are beautiful in design, but are the ones which create this sort of like a stage backdrop.
That's
for you
what
to feel
Ian
easy.
Schrager,
I belong here. When I
Ian
walk,
Schrager did that with the
Yeah.
Edition
yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
successful.
yeah,
I mean, when I went to the one in Miami, I said, well, maestro, hats off. Really, I mean, the moment I walked in, having been designing hotels all my life, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, it's super simple.
Mm.
It's a very neutral background
yeah.
for you to be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, not you.
It's a
want to be
standard
different.
background, isn't it, for them?
Wonderful.
Yeah,
He's a magician.
yeah.
And I really respect him.
I'm gonna put at use the 30 years of experience that each of you has. To
Mine's only 5, huh? He's 25.
Come on.
So let's look a little bit at the future.
Okay.
And please try not to think about what we want. Try to think about the guest in 20 years' time. Because again, this episode is thought to serve investors, designers, and when you think of the 25 years return of investment, you have
Yeah.
to think of the
Yeah.
guest that is going to go there in 25 years. So what makes a hotel future-proof so it can last those years being relevant?
I can go on that first.
Sure.
There's so many
Sure.
ideas on that. I think the future of hospitality is no one can predict. Right? It could be anything. It could be going back to standardizing all hotels looking the same wherever you go. Who knows? But from where we are now looking into the future, I think the future of hospitality is hotels with lower, smaller room counts. And I mean, you look at Marriott's, right? Why would they have introduced lifestyle brands into their portfolio? Yeah. It's the need of the hour, correct? If it wasn't the need of the hour, they wouldn't have done that. So, and the same thing with Hyatt, the same thing with Hilton, everyone. And why did they do it? Because someone out there started doing it, right? When the Ace Hotel opened, I think in Los Angeles or New York, the first one, I don't know, or in Seattle, somewhere on New York.
I guess so.
Yeah. So when I stayed in that hotel for the first time, no one had, I don't think anyone had done that before.
Nope.
It's a hotel that was all black painted. The lobby became accessible to everybody. People were co-working, working all day long, having a coffee, and then in the same location became a bar in the evening. And then many people kind of mimicked that, but that was an original way of thinking, because someone said, you know, why everyone's doing this? This could be another way of doing it. So there is, I think the future could be branded hotels, but more hotels in smaller number of keys, maybe service staff that is shared amongst people, could be a group group general manager. That's how I see hotels going.
Okay,
And
but wait,
yeah.
let me cut it here. Those smaller hotels, $1 million question, are they profitable?
Yes.
I think they're
Yes,
highly
they are.
profitable.
They are.
They're
If you-
highly
If
profitable.
you make the right moves,
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
more profitable. Pro
Yeah.
rata. Yeah. Per key.
Okay.
Pro rata.
And it's a quicker return on investment as well, no?
Indeed.
And there's just insane things happening in the hospitality world. I haven't stayed in these hotels yet, but there's this 2 hotels that I follow on Instagram. One's in Mexico City and the other one's in Paris. The one in Paris used to be this iconic shop that made hats and bow ties. I don't know if you've heard of this.
Yeah.
And over the years, the consumption of these products has reduced. So the space they needed also changed. So they still have the custom-made tie shop on the ground floor, and the upper levels got converted to hotels. It got converted into some 8 or 9 suites,
Okay.
right? And believe you me, I can't remember the name, Miriam, I'll send you the name, but you'd go to booking.com, it's impossible to find a room. And their rooms are selling at $800, $900 a night. They don't have a restaurant. You know what they do? They serve you breakfast from the best boulangeries in town. The conserves are made by an old grandmother somewhere in, I don't know, far parts of, in a kitchen. So it's just changing. Things are changing. Then the one in Mexico is above a perfume shop.
Yeah.
An iconic perfume shop. You go through the shop to go inside. So there's co-branding going on between the two, right?
Rosa Negra, I think.
I think that's the one.
It's Rosa Negra.
Rosa Negra. And it's an iconic
Wow.
perfume,
Very
custom
interesting.
perfume shop. So people are, hospitality is no longer just about the bed in a room. It's about a larger connection to the ecosystem of the place. And these hotels are about attitude, right? It's maybe not for everybody, but I would definitely stay in one of these. I would definitely stay in this. If I could afford to pay 900 euros a night, I'd stay here than in the fancy hotel next door. So I think there is going to be a significant movement towards that. That doesn't mean the big hotels are going anytime soon, but there's going to be a significant balance. And to answer your question, do you say the longevity of hotels? Is, again, what I was saying earlier, is how strongly, powerfully, unapologetically you belong where you are, right? You couldn't move it down the road. It's there.
Okay.
And that's where it belongs, authenticity. And how easily it bridges or connects you from your hotel to the extraordinary things around the city. He'll tell you, oh, where's the best jazz club? Oh, go there. Where's the best Negroni? That's where you'll get it. And it's not about trying to keep your customer within your walls to spend all their money in your bars and restaurants, but really sharing that revenue and making a healthy codependence between your business and the businesses around town, because you really care about that.
When I asked the question, both of you said very quickly yes, and then you added if you do it right. So, I mean,
How do you
I
do it
know
right?
that. Yeah, I know that's a whole new episode. But if you
No,
have to
but-
give, let's say, 2-3 hints on how to do it right to make a boutique hotel or few rooms hotel profitable, what those 2-3
For the next
key
generation.
takeaways? Yeah.
Next generation, okay. So I'm being trained by my daughter, who's 15, thinks she's 25, and her friends. So it's a completely different breed. But if I'm human, they're not.
Breed.
Vice versa. Okay?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm telling it directly to her as well. Well, what I'm seeing is, now they are unapologetically connected. Not only with each other, but also with the environment. So you said like 20 years from now, how are hotels going to be relevant?
Yeah.
Crystal ball session. Fine. I mean, I'm killing myself thinking about it because that is actually at the bottom of what I need to tell
Yeah.
people who ask for advice, right? Technology hiding in plain sight. That is number one.
Yeah,
Inevitable.
it's there, but it's not there.
Inevitable. It is there, it's not there.
Yeah.
Like these Ray-Ban Meta glasses that they're using, or Google tried it before they're coming back now with the smart glasses. What happens is these kids are walking on the street, tapping, and the system tells what they're looking at is what. Okay, so
Insane.
yeah, indeed. So you're talking about that jam from Provence, right? Can be coming from that corner,
Yeah.
shop in the
Yeah,
corner
yeah.
for your breakfast. The system will tell them that. Not because that it knows, but it gets connected to the experience of who visited that place before. Okay, so it is inevitably happening, and unless you tap into that realm, you're out.
Okay.
They know where they are, each other, on Snapchat at the moment. So they go party hopping because of that. So the guests of tomorrow, one, they're not going to be impressed by anything unless it's an experiential difference. Like if you're in Utah, I just remembered Utah looking at him because I brought a project to Curzon for that, which they're not doing anymore. You're in Utah, in Zion National Park. These people who are educated well, they're very well connected today. They know how technology operates, and actually they know how to communicate in multiple languages without even speaking the language, even today. So what are they going to expect in Utah, for example, in the middle of Zion National Park in the canyons? Just imagine that you send them into the depth of a canyon, deep down, and with an invisibility cloak, which is real today. It's 3 a.m. You go there beforehand in a very luxurious, let's say, vehicle. You're with your significant other, sipping champagne behind that cloak, watching a cub getting nursed by a mother cougar. How can you replace that experience? You can't. But this is what they're going to be expecting now in the outback with technology that is hiding in plain sight, be it at the outback or urban. This is the exceptional thing that they're going to be looking for. That's what I learned.
I'm going to ask you, we're going to keep working on the forecasting,
Okay?
trendsetters. If you have to name one destination that everyone is overlooking, and that you truly believe, you, the two of you, that you've traveled everywhere and you've seen hotels not only as tourists and as travelers, but also as professionals, what is that one destination that you would say is going to be the next one?
I think my response is a little biased. When I read that question, I started thinking, and I think, for me, it's got to be India.
India?
The diversity, just the geological diversity of that country is insane. From the snow-capped and the foothills of the Himalayas all
I
the
couldn't
way
agree
to
more.
the southern coast.
Yeah.
And these are known, right? But India's got an insane amount of wildlife diversity. You know, from migratory bird parks to the tiger reserves to the rhinoceros reserves in the east of India. And there's things happening in the Himalayas. There's obviously a lot of crazy things happening along the coast. And luckily, the center, which is the core, the forest and the plains of India is pretty much untapped, which is good and bad. The moment you touch something, it just goes crazy. But it's just insane opportunity for every kind of well done and well thought through and sustainable tourism to happen, of which, of course, hotels will be an integral part of that experience. So I think, for me, it would be India.
What do you think, Hakan?
I have 4
4. Okay. In order of priority, please.
priority.
Do you ask for 4?
No.
No.
I asked for one.
one.
but
Because I
he
feel
has-
very insecure.
No, he has. No.
Above and beyond, Rahul. Overlooked, you said.
Yes.
And I read that question before, and I was thinking, I would name Albania
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
in Europe.
Yes.
Albania, because it's got that diversity.
Mm.
It's very close to that culture
Yeah.
in Europe. So is Montenegro, they're neighbors,
Mm.
actually, but Albania. Another one is Georgia. Georgia. I mean, I'm not talking about Tbilisi only. It's the Kazbegi Mountains. I did many years ago. I did the Crown Plaza in the mountains there, and that's where I saw the culture, the cultural sensitivity for cooking, for example, wine.
Yeah, they have a very long history with wine, isn't it, Georgia?
They do. Another one is Oman. Right here, but they're not. I can tell you. I mean, you go to Muscat, you go to Salalah, 2 different universes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think it is beautiful in many, many ways. And the cultural tolerance of that country lends itself very well to hospitality culture.
Mm.
Okay.
And last but not the least is Vietnam. Vietnam, because of its arts and craft, as well as, again, everything that I've been talking about,
Yeah.
our culture. So I think these 4 locations are going to, together with India, I completely agree
I
with
counted, huh? You did
Yeah,
7.
yeah.
No, Albania,
I like it.
Georgia,
I like all those countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oman,
Yeah.
and
Beautiful.
Vietnam. India, indisputable,
Yeah.
of course, with that richness.
And not to talk about the spiritual and wellness tourism, which is
Oh yeah,
none of that is sort of borrowed from somewhere else to make their own. It's a part of the land. It's part of the cultural ecosystem
it is.
of the place. And I think just wellness tourism in India is completely untapped.
And it's not only for body, it's also for mind.
Mind, yeah.
We got a lot of takeaways, including where they should build those hotels and with what in mind they should build it. But so I'm going to ask the last question of today,
Okay.
and that is going to be, and please be very honest, if they give you or you have $100 or $150 million, first of all, would you buy a hotel with that money? And second, if you do, what type of hotel would it be? Be honest as an investor, yeah?
I have to invest the money? Like, do I have to use
You
the
don't
$100
have to. You
million?
have $150 million.
Yeah.
Would you do it? Would you invest
You
it in
buy
a
a
hotel?
hotel.
Yes or
No,
no?
I don't
And if
think
yes,
so.
no? Okay.
Nah, I'll just enjoy the money. Yeah.
Just burn
It's
it
a lot
all.
of hard work to run a hotel. Easy to talk like I was doing.
I wouldn't buy a hotel, but I would buy a potential. I would buy a building that is a landmark in a way, a cultural landmark, wherever it is. I'll name one. The Flatiron Building in New York City, for example.
Mm.
I'd buy that, craft it into an environment like NED, give the member club, the wellness, put branded residences, because there's nothing better than telling the story of that environment other than living in it. And either create a brand, and if I use that money, I can actually create a brand, or bring a brand that is worthy of that building and respectful to its history, what it says by its stature, and convert it. But I would not buy a hotel. I would create a hotel.
Yeah.
That's a great story, and I think it's a great way to put an end to this episode. Thank you very much to our audience. Gentlemen, thank you so much. This was
Thank you for having us.
fantastic, and I'm very, very happy with this conversation.
Miriam, thank you for having us here. Thank you.